I cannot say that I find the Rauatai distasteful. Their Brass Citadel is clean, orderly, highly defensive, and its people here are quite hard-working and regimented. It seems more of a military post than anything else. The Royal Deadfire Company is their naval presence here in the Deadfire after all. But I do have to say that I like what I've seen so far. If they're all like this, then I might change my mind on who to support. So far, the Valians haven't come close to the reception that the Rauatai have given me. Yes, their mayor of Port Magi, Clario, was a nice man, and one that seemed to care about the people there, including the Huana. But if it is true what this Royal Deadfire Company quartermaster has said of the Valians' treatment of the Huana in general, being pretty poor, then I might ditch the Valians in favor of supporting the Rauatai. This is just how I see things from here. Before making any decisions, I will go and have a visit with the leader of the Valian Trading Company, in their headquarters. If he still won't see me, or if I see him and don't like what I see, then I will probably decide to side with the Rauatai. If he seems decent, then I might try to maintain my neutrality. What exactly is the Brass Citadel? He hesitates, looking at me as if the answer is obvious.
It's a trading post, of course.
Your trading post has high walls, cannons, and guard towers?
Anything worth building is worth protecting.
Well, I suppose so. I just haven't seen the Valians protect themselves like that. What exactly is the Brass Citadel?
It's a trading post, of course.
What do you trade?
Rauatai is rich in saltpeter, copper, and a few other profitable minerals. We generally trade for food and timber, which grow poorly in the rough country. The Valians have become aggressive competitors in recent years, but our ships were plying the seas long before the Republic's declared independence. We learned the value of defending our goods and ships long ago.
He smiles placidly.
Clear skies.
He tilts his head as he watches me, his eyes unblinking. You seem different from the rest of the Royal Deadfire Company.
How do you mean that?
You're not a soldier.
Rauatai is composed of many types, but it's true, many here are soldiers and engineers, none of whom are especially diligent about paperwork.
He spreads his hands to encompass the scrolls on his desk and in the shelves behind him.
How do you mean that?
You're hard to read.
It comes from years of practice. It's the only way I've learned to beat Karanui at Azatoa.
Okay.
How do you mean that?
But, come on, you know exactly what I mean. He lowers his head, watching me all the while.
Are you making advances at me?
What? That is actually the opposite of what I was thinking. No.
It's for the best. This would be a most inconvenient time to begin an attachment.
Okay, farewell. Interesting that they have coral all around. A plaque below the coral reads, "As we shape coral, so we shape nations. In victory, your Ranganui." Oh, this is where the guards sleep. Harsh lands forge strong people, no?
I've got it.
A few stray bitter squash seeds are tucked under the pillow.
What have we here?
What? Oh.
Ishi, quiet. Not happening.
Maya had seen a gem underneath there. These ruffles look perfectly maintained and ready for use at a moment's notice. Most of these papers are letters to home. Almost all praise Deadfire's weather. Okay. I think it's time to move on. I don't know. Do we know enough about Luminous Audra? I think I'd be doing harm. Would I not? I wonder where apparently there's an exit over here. I wonder where it comes out. doing harm to the souls that use it. But then again, look at what the Valians are doing. They're literally destroying these things. Theodra, ripping it apart. So I suppose so. If souls are using it, it's a small sacrifice. I don't know. How about I go speak with the Valians before I decide to help one side or the other? I don't really want to help either side, and I could just keep myself neutral. Okay, so let's go out the front. Well, I met with her. The one in charge of the Rauataians, and I still haven't met with one in charge of the Valians.
Why does your Ranga carve his name into a rock?
The Ranga Nui, and it's a commemoration to show what he built.
Oh. Then did your Raparo also write their names on other stones? For what do you squawk and gloat over a heap of stones? Akira, you Rauataians are strange cousins indeed.
A well-dressed Juana woman shakes her head at the Rauataian man. The tone of their debate is spirited, but not unfriendly.
The Brass Citadel is a marvel of modern engineering. With the gates barred and the cannons primed, it can withstand any attack and weather any storm.
He and his Juana friend turn to regard me.
Surely you can see what a fine stronghold this is.
Well, as the leader of a fort, myself, this place does seem quite nice. It's an excellent fort, sturdy and built to last.
I'm sure someone once said the same about the ancient places in Deadfire, before storms and volcanoes made ruins of them.
Maya smirks and folds her arms. Takehu worries, one of his hairs between two fingers.
We transformed a rocky cove into the best defended harbor in Neketaka. Such achievements must be celebrated.
This rocky cove was once a prized fishing spot for the Raparo. These Rauataians act as if every bare islet is merely awaiting a fort or a farm. They cannot look at anything without planning to change it.
To strive is to survive. Those who would achieve greatness must make the world a better, more ordered place than they found it.
Why change the world when you can learn to live in it the way it is? This is what my people have done for thousands of years.
I never really thought of taking a side on this, but... I guess it comes down to we should ask what provides the greatest benefit, a fishing spot or a harbor.
Must we sacrifice the needs of the few to the whims of the many, then?
She spreads her hands to me in question, but she isn't angry.
Akira, nothing invigorates like a good discussion. Thank you for indulging us.
She grins. With that, they turn from me and resume their discussion. Isn't that how pretty much everything in life is decided by those who have the means and or numbers behind them to do something? It is getting late again. As I said, I don't know if there's... I mean, there's a lounge here, but it may just be for the Rauataian Navy. The Hasnudi's a cannonball, cold as winter, until suddenly she's not.
Meet her eye when you've got bad news. She respects that.
Yeah. Is there a place to stay here, I wonder?
I don't think she likes me. I spent most of my career escorting foreign ships.
Many have. She's got nothing against scramble routes, but don't stare at her hand.
She seemed to be okay when I mentioned it. How she lost it.
On it.
Someone named Pero is trouncing his opponents in Hazatoa. Cargo manifests show saltpeter received from Rauatai and raw foodstuff shipped back. I go to Hasango myself, but the Hasnui is keeping the shipping lanes closed. He said it so fast I couldn't hear what he said at the end. Hello? The Brass Citadel is the best defended harbor in the city.
If this is about the Hazatoa tournament, I've got nothing to do with that, alright? I just serve the drinks.
He holds up his hands with the exhausted resignation of a man who has made his case many times. What is this about Hazatoa?
Some of the soldiers and sailors get to making unwise bets when they play.
He rolls his eyes.
Like I said, I keep out of it. None of the regulars are looking for new opponents, though, if that's what you're asking. All the better for you, trust me.
Okay. Why do you work for the Royal Deadfire Company?
They always pay on time. They're run by the Ranganui, so they should, right?
He grins.
Also, I'm from a town near Takoa. Rautai's full of all kinds of kith, not just Amawa. But the Amawa have a long history at sea. They make up a lot of sailors and soldiers, including most of the ones that ended up here.
He nods vaguely at the bar. I'd like to order something.
You're a captain working for the Royal Deadfire Company, right? Sure you are. Even if you're not, I've heard your name enough to think you are.
He winks.
Try the razor skewers, if you can handle the heat.
He smirks in challenge. Okay. But, yeah, I was hoping for... Can't stay the night here, there's no place. It's just a place to come drink. Candied nuts. Yeah, I'll bet you the crew would love this. Do we have anything to sell? In terms of food stuff? A few things. We'll keep it for a ship. Alright. Thank you.
Will do.
The notice reads, service reserved for officers of the Royal Deadfire Company. Oh, okay, that's why he said that. That's why he was acting that way. Fleet Master's office. Hello.
Come to gawk, too? My punishment's over, you know.
She looks away and crosses her arms carefully to hide her burned hands. Why were you holding a red-hot cannonball? She glances back at me, a look of defiance in her eyes.
I punched my captain.
Atta girl.
Shoti's eyes gleam with a dark amusement. It's as if the mere mention of the incident takes her back to it. Her face darkens with anger, and a bitter smile transforms her features.
Though maybe he shouldn't have insulted my aim. Like I don't know the difference between a smooth and rifled bore.
She shakes her head, quietly, stewing. Well, maybe he deserved it.
He asked if I knew where I was pointing my cannons. I told him to bend over in front of one and we'd find out. It escalated from there. Anyway.
She shrugs.
I'm not reporting back to Wakoyo, that's for sure. I crewed on mercenary ships before this. Come to think of it, that suited me better.
She grins impishly.
Still a scramble root at heart, I guess. But I'm plenty experienced. Maybe I'll see if anyone's looking for an expert cannoneer.
Oh, I can use an experienced cannoneer in my crew. She looks me up and down, considering my offer.
Don't take this the wrong way, but I only crew with captains I know. Either personally or by reputation.
I can vouch for the captain here. Keeps a tidy ship of misfits, but we're still floating.
Maya offers an encouraging shrug.
I could use some mischief. I've about had it with the uptight stiffs around here anyway. I'll see you on board, Captain.
She crosses her forearms and salutes to me, then makes a rude gesture at the rest of the district. Oh, her arm. Going into the Fleet Master's boardroom.
Clear skies, my friend.
Wakoyo crosses his arms and tips his head to the side. A long scar traces a path down his face, curving sharply, where his cheeks rise with a smile. Kelden Zatha, Captain of the Defiant, at your service.
I know of you already, Captain. Maya, I assume you vouch for your new captain?
He turns his focus towards Maya and Ashija.
On occasion. Why?
Your ship, unmoored from Deadfire politics, is an asset I would grasp with both hands. An arrangement can help us both. You will empty the seas of competition in exchange for profit.
Hunting ships for Rauatai? Aren't you afraid that privateering will start a war?
An official reckoning is drafted to account for every cannonball shot in the name of Rauatai. Our paperwork is most thorough. For every ship sunk, there is a legal justification.
Oh.
Our enemies will know the war is started on the day we fail to turn in our paperwork.
Okay. What bounties do you have available?
A Scylla wave skipper is your first target. A pirate shirking any pretense of lawful conduct in the open seas.
Wakoyo grimaces and itches at his scar. I'll take the bounty.
Most excellent. A Scylla commands the Voyager River Dragon, which pesters a group of islands to the southwest of Port Mage.
I was planning on going in that direction anyways. Before I go, I have some questions.
Ask away, my privateer.
No, actually...
I would not have you take to the water uninformed.
Wakoyo nods and plants his hands on his hips. That's fine, thanks. That's all I needed.
Sure.
Let us be gone. Yeah, if they're gonna hunt pirates, that's fine. I'll definitely go after those bounties. It's just if they ever... What if there's a ship that's a Valian ship? Who's this little
For
Orlin?
what do you obey your
I've got all
harvest
sorts of
god with
goods and
such
supplies.
devotion,
Take
friend
a-
Shodi?
Want to listen to what they're saying.
What do you mean, why? Like there's an alternative?
The Huana gods are a jungle of choices, I say. If the fish displeases you, look to the bird.
Okay.
I've got all sorts of goods and supplies. Take a look before you head back out.
Why are you working at a Rauatalian outpost?
Because I'm from Rauatai. Or to be more specific, my ancestral home's been part of the Empire for decades. Few generations now.
How did your homeland become part of Rauatai?
The usual way, I guess. Their soldiers beat ours.
She shrugs. Doesn't that bother you? She glances around to see if anyone's in earshot.
I guess it used to. When I was younger, I grew up hearing stories of the time before from my grandparents. But they were children themselves when Rauatai took over.
She frowns at me thoughtfully.
Some wax romantic about the old days. Anyways, I'm just trying to make a living. That's why I'm here, after all.
What's it like living under Rauatalian rule?
I don't know. I never known anything else. We've got the Rauataians' fancy new irrigation canals now, and the roads have gotten better. The ones leading into Tekoa, anyhow.
She pauses, lost in thought, and smirks.
Funny thing is, the further you go on them, the nicer everything gets, and the more it all looks like this.
She nods at the stone walls and towers. It's actually nice here, now that I think of it. Let's get back to business.
That's a better subject.
Let's see what you've got for sale.
Take a look.
Well, I only have a few thousand coins. I have to make sure that it's enough to cover everything for the crew and the ship. Simple iron hammer and chisel, useful for chipping away at hard surfaces, particularly ones that display structural weaknesses. Why we don't have that, I don't know. A flint and tinder could also help. Sharp piece of flint to be struck with steel, and a small amount of tinder is all that's needed to start a fire in most situations. Seems like some basic things that we should have. Maybe I should buy a few more lockpicks just to be sure. Now, as for what we may be able to sell, well, we've got a lot of items here. Saber. I should look. Fine hunting bow, I mean, I can save it. Fine saber, fine dagger. I don't know anyone that uses... Only Shodi uses a crossbow. A poleaxe, pistol, a large shield. Only one person in the entire group uses it. Well, Shodi's shield is her lantern. Really need too many torches, if any at all, but I'll keep a couple. And we have a lot of... I'd like to keep the better armor. Like such as this fine breastplate. It's not as nice as my Brigadine, though. For shippy mail armor. Rauataian hat. Actually, let's keep the Rauataian hat. I know who to give that to. That's probably good for now. Yes. Maya. I thought I brought back the hat. Where would it have gone? Okay, so there's no hat. As for, like, I use swords. As a gladiator sword. But, see, Adair uses sabers. Replacing his old saber with a fine saber. Well, that is a bit of an upgrade. Yeah, I have to say that it's very clean, it's very orderly, very well done. Reminds me of what I wish I could have brought Cadnua to. Only your people have traveled as widely as ours. Docks. What is the powder house?
I'm sorry, but this area is strictly off limits.
The young guard draws himself up to his full height, crossing his arms. What is this place?
Private property of the Royal Deadfire Company, that's what.
He eyes me warily. Alright then. Cannonballs. Repair. I don't know about cannonballs. There's a place over here though. I think it's a gunsmithy. I guess this is the Rauataian who sells it. The man greets me with arms crossed over his chest. He has a mass of scar tissue where his left eye would be, and his hands are knotted with bulging tendons.
Looking for a pistol or an arquebus? Rauatai makes the finest guns in Aora, and I make the finest guns in Rauatai.
That's a big claim. What makes your guns so special?
Craftsmanship.
He holds out his knotted hands, keeping them entirely still as he speaks to me. They're covered in small burns and scars that blur the varied pigmentation of his skin.
If you ask my superiors at Imperial Command, they'll tell you our main exports are saltpeter and metal. Those are just things. They're prized because of what we do with them.
He reaches under the counter and presents a blunderbuss, holding it out for my inspection with his ever-steady hands. It's a high-quality piece.
Rauataian industry is about discipline, precision, mastery of a careful art. Those qualities guide all that we build.
He puts the blunderbuss away. Let me see what you have. Oh, not just fine weapons, but exceptional. Do you sell exceptional swords? They're just, they're all gunpowder weapons. But it's nice to know where to go. Oh, and arbalests as well. Crossbows. The Iron Thunderer. Isn't that what we got for our boat? The Royal Bronzer. It's a bit better than what I have, the Iron Thunderer. Exceptional blunderbuss. Ah, well, here it is. That's why I couldn't find it, because I have it in my stash. Okay. Maya. There. Now it's fitting. We know where to go to get good ranged weapons for both us and our ship. Yeah, I'm actually starting to really like the Rauataians more than the Valians. The only, like I said, I briefly worked in Valian Republics. I didn't really get to know them too well. I think that's pretty much it for the entire Brass Citadel. We should go back to our ship and sleep, though.
Feeling you don't like me much. Was it something I said? I think it was something I said.
No, it's not. You're not doing anything wrong, exactly.
Really? I mean, you tell me if you had a problem, right? If I'd bothered you this whole time?
It's nothing personal. I just don't think we need to be talking, is all.
Oh. Well, thanks for clearing that up.
That was a little awkward. Okay, we rested. And I successfully had my gladiator sword enchanted to sharpen blade to take away what I had on what it originally came with, which was like a corroded blade. So now it, yeah, it's just a really good sword. Happy about that. It didn't cost that much either. People are talking about me. So we will have to come back here and visit the Valian Trading Company headquarters. And they even say that perhaps we could get Pelagina to come with us. But however, we need to go on the Gullet. And that's actually why originally I thought at the Brass Citadel that this tavern was there, but it's not. Where the Rauataian captain is that could take that family away from the Gullet. That woman, she lost her mate or her husband that we couldn't find. It almost killed us trying to find him. Oh yeah, there's a tavern here. Oh. I think we passed right by it. We must have passed right by it. I thought we had explored everywhere here, except for, oh, there's a few other places we haven't been to either. Just when I thought I had seen it. Now, we've got to find this Rautaian captain. Apparently, she's at the tavern. And there's this place called the Hole over here. It's kind of fitting because it's in the Gullet. But I assume that this is the tavern. The Hole. Wow. That's an ogre over there. I guess we have another place to explore, and there's more of the Gullet that I haven't seen. I thought I saw all of it. Strange.